Legislator Petcher, Legislator McNabb Coleman, and Legislator Vitale here. So we have a quorum. First thing on the agenda is approve the minutes from August 12th.
I'll move it.
I'll second it. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, so moved. Go to the department updates, and I don't think Carl is on. So, Kevin, I think, is just itching to get up and,
I've been thinking about it all day.
there you go.
Now, I just want to kind of highlight, we had an incident with the COD a couple weeks ago. Lost power there, ended up shutting down the 911 backup center. As we found out, the generator hadn't been taken care of or serviced in quite a while. It has been since, everything's functioning, and I'm continuing to find other stuff that hasn't been serviced in a while. Get things cleared up, ready for winter. And that's pretty much the bulk of what I got going.
Any questions for Kevin?
Ben,
Yes, go ahead.
Kevin, is my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a time delay about when somebody actually went down and looked at the batteries to find out that they were not serviced, or the generator was not serviced, and you know, that the fact that those things weren't done was an issue or the cause of the malfunction. I don't know if anybody's, I'm sure somebody probably now has impressed upon you that that backup generator is vital to the county's operation.
Yep.
It is unexcusable to have that not work properly. And is there, I was told that they may be looking at having a outside entity come and do the service work. Do you know if that's true or not?
That's correct. We got quotes coming in from several different vendors.
Well, we can only hope that we never have to have that incident happen again. The 911 center going down and not being able to function as properly is not acceptable. And I know you're new, and I don't put the blame on you. I put it on the people that were there before you. So. Thank you.
Now we'll keep an eye on things.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Kevin? Or statements?
That's all we want.
Yep, no problem. All right, otherwise we'll move on, and we expect a lot more from you next month, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Brian,
I didn't have time to get a report in, so I guess I'll just update you on some things. Phillips Road Bridge project is going pretty good. We're gonna set the new bridge structure next Wednesday. Everything works right. All the moons align. They're hoping to deliver it on Wednesday, so we'll hopefully get that set and get started on that backfill, get that road back opened up. The retaining walls on Dresserville Road have been completed. That was another project I worked with Soil and Water on, getting my permits. We got those done. We only have one road left to pave, which is Halsey Road in Port Byron. Just waiting on vendors for that, and then some repair work to do. And I would like to mention, and Mark might be able to shed some light on this too, is if you guys have been getting some calls about the fact the highway hasn't been responding as quickly as what the taxpayers feel, it's because we have 11 vacancies and we just don't have the manpower to jump when people ask us to jump. I know Mark's been dealing with a few people, so I just wanted to make everybody aware that we're doing the best we can with what we have staff wise, so.
appreciate that. Any questions?
I will say in Brian's defense, they did make it down and take care of the issue that I received several phone calls on. And I appreciate, his efforts to do that. Thank you, Brian.
I made a comment at the ledge meeting, I'll make it again, that down people are not. it seems that they're doing an excellent job with mowing and things like that, and I commend the department.
Like I say, we're struggling and, you know, but,
Everybody's working.
yep.
That's what's important. You have some resolutions here. Let's start with PW1, authorize the highway equipment surplus. Do I have a motion for that?
Move it.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. I will say the next one, PW 2, 3, 4.
Well, PW4, we're gonna pull till next month. I would jump the gun on that. I was supposed to put that in for next month.
Okay, that's good. PW 2 and 3. I'm going to say that I won't be supporting these, and there's only 3 of us. So I'm going to ask people if it's okay to bring it to Ways.
Yeah.
Is that okay? You all right with that? Okay. And so we're at PW 5.
That is just to accept the additional funds that were over our annual contract with the state.
We'll accept additional funds, and I think.
I think you should take
Motion for that?
700,000.
Second.
Hans? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. And 6 is also to, for the seasonal MEO employees, and would everybody okay to bring this to Ways?
Yes.
Move it.
Okay, so yes, Doug, you're up and the grand finale.
All right. All right, so good evening, everybody. First update would just be where our weed cutting boats are. Right now, we're up on Little Source Bay in Fairhaven. Should be finishing up there hopefully this week, barring any future breakdowns or anything like that. And then we're gonna move on, finish Lake Como and hit a couple spots on Cross Lake. So we'll be moving there. The other thing I wanted to say was we had a great AEM awards banquet, the Environmental Management Awards Banquet. It was held shortly after our last committee meeting, and 5 farms received awards. It was great. Thanks, Mark, for being there. It was just pretty well attended. I mean, I thought there were about 50 people there. Took some tours of Minturn Farms, Small Beef Farms, and Scipio Springs Dairy. Got to drive around and check out some of his fields and the farm there. So it was a great event. We're gonna do it again next year. So hopefully you guys keep that in mind. We'll probably do it around the same time. But if you did want to participate in an event, I'll leave some flyers up here for this meeting, the next meeting, and the general public. But next week, on the 16th, we have our conservation field days that day. And then after conservation field days, we're having the mobile dairy experience come up here. Some of you guys may have seen it at the fair. It's by the birthing center that you see up there at the kind of at the north end of the fair. So we're gonna have a couple farms here where they're gonna talk about stuff, talk about what farmers do for water quality. So we're just trying to get people to that event as well. So it'll be right here across the street. Should be, it depends on how long the Ways and Means Committee meeting goes, but if anybody wants to attend, I mean, the registration's on there or just swing over. But there's another opportunity to meet with folks.
Any questions? Otherwise, thank you very much. Is there any other business to come before this committee? Motion to adjourn,
Move it.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.
Everybody present that needs to be.
Weirdest things happen in my house.
So funny.
So, I'd like to call the meeting in order for JPS. Start off with a roll call. Tom Winslow is out of town, so he will not be here. That's why I am here today running the meeting. Amy McNabb Coleman's here, Amy Sargent is here, obviously I'm here, and Ben McHale is here. So we do have a quorum. Minutes to approve for August 12th, 2025. Need a motion?
Move it.
Second?
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. We have no appointments, so that leads us right into department updates. 911, Ms. Denise Spangler, please.
Good evening. Kind of boring tonight. I don't have a whole lot. Everything I have is on my report. There's also a backup center update that it sounds like it went into Teams. So if you didn't see it in Teams, Amanda did send it back out. So if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer them. As far as my report, we're continuing to work through the hiring process. Training class will start September 29th. And then, yeah, I don't have anything. If you don't have any questions on my report, or if you have any questions.
Anyone have any questions for Denise? Hearing none, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, I'm over.
You're not. Okay. Next up is assigned counsel, Mr. Lloyd Hoskins, please.
You're a hard act to follow.
That's all right. All right.
I think I'll be just as short as Denise maybe. Good afternoon. The report went out. Hope everybody had an opportunity to review it. The last thing on the report was, I've been working with John Evans, the grant manager, on this family court grant. I think we're in pretty good line. We're going to submit it Friday. We've met with family court clerks. We've met with the family court attorneys. It's a great opportunity for $750,000 over 3 years to relieve some of our family court costs, which are skyrocketing. These are going to be mostly Article 10, which are neglect cases, which are the most difficult cases. And we're ready to submit it and get ILS approval. Hopefully the first part of January sometime, but a resolution will certainly come back to the judiciary for your approval to move forward with a contract. So we're ready to submit that. The only other update I have is next month, we will be back with a resolution to borrow money or take money out of the contingency account. You read the headlines. Last 2 weekends ago, we had 6-7 robberies. You read the headlines about the Chapman Ave shooting. We had 2 shootings that weekend. These defendants all require legal defense services. And we have to provide those services. And with that comes the expense of paying for an expert, paying for a doctor, paying for investigators. And luckily we have ILS, the New York State Indigent Legal Defense Services, that pays for most of it. But the long story short is I anticipate that we're going to be $250,000 short. I've got enough to pay November bills, I believe, but we're going to be short for December. But again, I'll have the exact numbers on that, and that won't be until next month. And I'll work with Lynn and the budget office on how we make those transfers and where it comes from. And so I won't have that until next month. If there's any other questions.
Anyone have any questions or comments for our assigned counsel? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the list would be the coroner, Dr. Adam Duckett. I don't see him in attendance and he's not on the computer. So we shall move on. District Attorney, Brittany Antonacci.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize for not submitting a report, but I really don't have any updates. We've been very busy. As Mr. Hoskins said, we had 2 robberies, but with 7 co-defendants. So the problem is we need an attorney for each of those co-defendants. So there's a lot of moving parts there. But other than that, we've been extremely busy in grand jury. We have our new law associate who started and she should get her bar results hopefully in November is when they typically come out. Other than that, unless there are any questions, I don't have any updates.
Any questions for the district attorney?
There was the announcement that Mr. Baldina, he received it. Can you explain?
Yeah, so it's a special assistant U.S. attorney. It's just a designation. A lot of district attorneys' offices across the state have it. We had not had it up until this point. So the acting U.S. attorney asked if we had any prosecutors who are interested in being cross-designated as assistant U.S. attorney as well as a district attorney. So it will allow him to help out with federal investigations and prosecutions should they need someone from our office and develop that relationship a little bit better with our federal partners.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next up would be Emergency Services, Riley Shirtliff.
Good afternoon, everyone. I also have had a very busy month and was unable to submit a report in time, but I'll give you just a few brief highlights of what we've been up to. Myself and the deputy director met with the new appointed director of state office of emergency management 2 weeks ago, Pete Cicchetti. He's coming into the role after roughly 20 years of operating in the state. We talked about some of our current struggles within Cayuga County, but also just some of the potential that the state has for benefiting us in the future. We had the grant accepted back in January for CPR, automatic CPR devices through the New York State Bureau of EMS. Those have all been delivered and we spent 6 hours today unboxing them and getting them online. And we hope to have a training in the next couple of weeks. One will be going to every agency within the county, which is certainly a benefit. The end of the month, the 26th through the 28th, we're actually going to be hosting the New York State Search and Rescue Federation annual conference. It's the first time it's been hosted in 3 years. We'll be hosting that out of the Union Springs Fire Department. And we're expecting somewhere between 50 and 100 attendees for that conference, which is pretty fascinating that we've adopted this team in the span of the last 6 months and we're hosting the statewide conference this year here in Cayuga County. We've got a number of trainings going on for fire and EMS. Unfortunately, we did cancel a certified first responder class due to real low enrollment, but our new fire coordinator has hit the ground running and we're rolling a truck company ops, traffic incident management, vehicle extrication, and a fire officer 2 class, all in the span of several months. Beyond regular updates, I've got one resolution this evening, and that is to accept funds from New York State Department of Homeland Security for the purposes of technical rescue.
I believe it is GPN, so. Yeah, authorizing the chairperson and Cayuga County legislator and the Cayuga County Emergency Services Director to accept New York State Division of Homeland Security Program to fund technical rescue and urban search and rescue equipment and training. FEMA project number TR 22-1002-E00. I need a motion.
I'll move it.
Need a second. I'll second it. Any discussion?
If you'd like me to just explain what it goes towards. This is a $48,000 award and change from Homeland Security without a match required for technical rescue equipment. We have not received an award for this category since 2018. John Evans pulled this one off. Again, there's no match dedicated towards it. It's going to be split between a new confined space communication system that'll be used by our hazardous materials team, the collapse team out of the city of Auburn. A whole macro rebar cutting tool meant for building or structural collapse, trying to access foundations, and replacement of life safety rope that has hit the end of its useful life between our county rope rescue team and the city of Auburn as well. So that's what this has been written for and what it is dedicated towards.
Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none? Carried. Anybody have any other questions or concerns? Mr. Shirtliff? Seeing none? Thank you, Riley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, probation. Don Murley.
Good afternoon, John Early, probation supervisor. Director Thomas had already submitted the report. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read it. Are there any questions regarding that?
I believe you have
Three resolutions.
three resolutions, and that's probably the most I've seen.
Yep, they're pretty standard. The first resolution is just to, for the annual agreement with Cayuga Counseling for the Alternatives to Incarceration and Community Service Program. The second one is the annual agreement with Cayuga Counseling for the pretrial release program. And the third is just for the county to accept grant funding related to the 2025-2026 GIVE initiative in the amount of about $80,000.
So.
Motion for JP 1 and 3, bundle 1 and 3.
Bundle 1 and 3. Okay, I have a motion to bundle 1 and 3. Can I have a second?
I have a clarification. I think that they were in a different order when you just verbally repeated them to us. So I have the GIVE as the second one. JP2 is,
I don't know which order they were.
yeah, okay. So were you intending on?
No.
Okay,
1 and 3.
1 and 3 that is listed. Okay. I second that.
So we're gonna
Second.
bundle 1 and 3 if everybody in agreement?
Mhm.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the two? JP1 and JP3? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. JP2, authorizing the probation department to accept funding through the GIVE grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services. Want to expand on that? Let me see if I can find it here. On my,
I'll move it for discussion.
I have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Discussion. 3, 2. I can, for the sake of clarity, whereas the probation department has been awarded a grant funding in the amount of 80,000, AP2, right? Yeah. Of $80,320 from the New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services for the 2025-2026 Gun Involved Violence Elimination GIVE initiative. And whereas all expenses for operations through the grant will require no match of funding by the county and will be 100% funded by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services. Now therefore be it resolved that the chairman of the legislature, director of probation, be authorized to sign the necessary documentation to accept the GIVE funding, and be it further resolved that the finance department is authorized to make the journal and accounting entries required to implement the intent of this resolution. Any other comments, discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Sorry, I was looking at the waiver. Sorry. This is out of battery. It's hard on my phone. Bear with me for just a second.
All right, we can wait.
Okay. I'm curious why there's a waiver for special services on this one.
I don't have it here in my,
Do you know, Fred?
I believe, let me grab the waiver first.
I don't have it.
I didn't notice.
Waiver in my
the
notes.
waiver Right now. I just looked at the resolution.
So they list two, couple reasons. One is the low rate of the contract for pretrial and community services with Cayuga Counseling Services and no increase.
savings, close to $50,000. Another benefit of Cayuga Counseling Services providing the service is that they are local, available to answer questions. And that the ATI reentry team, they're on the ATI reentry team. So there's therefore a request to waive going out based on those items.
Is that a best practice that you see?
I don't see any objections to it.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, so we are
thank you for
at.
entertaining my question. Sorry.
So we're at the point of, a vote in favor of, I am a vote of yes. I have 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
it passes. And carried. Okay, if unless somebody has any other questions for John?
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Sheriff.
Good afternoon. I did submit my report. I just wanted to highlight, tomorrow, the undersheriff and I will be traveling to Albany to attend a vote of the DCJS, the Department of Criminal Justice Services Accreditation Council. They invited us down to that meeting as they're voting to approve accreditation for our road patrol division. So I just want to commend all of our staff and many people that worked really hard to accomplish this goal and to get our second division within our sheriff's office accredited. So I'm really proud of the work that they did and do, and I just want to highlight that. So we'll be accepting it tomorrow. I do have 7 resolutions, and I was hoping to address last week's search warrant execution at some point. I don't know if you want me to do that first or after the resolutions, but if I can address that.
We could address that at this point in time, and if there's no objections.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that on the table.
Sure. I wanted to address some facts relative to last week's search warrant execution, and I think that there's been a lot of misinformation swirling out there relative to how this came about, what our role was. I know that there hasn't been a lot of information released by Homeland Security, but I just want to release a little bit of information that I can release that I think is important, and just provide some facts relative to our involvement and how we became involved. I think it was on or about July 30th, I was contacted by Border Patrol relative to a criminal investigation they were conducting at Nutrition Bar Confectioners, which I'm sure you're all aware of. We have had a long-standing partnership with them, at least back to 2009. I'm not sure if it may even go beyond that. But we've received funding from them yearly since 2009 for proactive enforcement partnership with them. And in 2011, we did receive funding from them to purchase the command post, the bus that we have, our operations center that probably all of you have seen. We use it here at Emerson Park for the fireworks as a command post that night each year. We use it for major incidents. Luckily, we don't have many of those throughout the course of the year, but we do use that when we need it. So we did receive funding from them for that. We continue to receive funding. They did reach out to me relative to this investigation. They did explain to me what the investigation entailed. That continues to be an ongoing investigation. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have seen many of the media reports. There was additional information released today. There is an ongoing investigation in this case. There still is much more work that they are doing that I can't speak to, and I don't know a lot of the details relative to this ongoing investigation, but they did execute the search warrant last week on the 4th. And hopefully some additional details will come out relative to that sooner rather than later. Our role in that incident on the 4th was to provide traffic control for the highway there. It's on kind of a bad hill. So we provided traffic control, some security around the location. And that was our primary role that day. We did not provide any enforcement. We did not do any searching. We did not seize anything. That was not our role. That is not our function. We didn't do that. As part of the ongoing partnership with them, we did provide that and they did pay for the overtime and for our people being there. I just want to make sure that some of that information gets out. I wish that more information was available relative to the ongoing investigation that I can't share. I don't know all of it, but there's a lot swirling on social media. Media outlets are reporting information at times that is not exactly accurate. So I think it's important to just wait for the facts. I also know that this is not our primary role in the work that we do as a sheriff's office locally. We do partner with Border Patrol, but that's obviously not our primary role in partnering with them. I can tell you that we, for anyone in our community that's concerned that there are additional plans at this point to do execute additional search warrants or additional enforcement action with us being involved in that, there are no plans. I'm not aware of any at the federal level, but I can't speak for them. So I think it's important to note that there's not some type of plan here to keep rolling forward and continuing to do this kind of enforcement. So I just wanted to share that. I think it's important to get that information out. And until the federal government, HSI, is ready to release details on their ongoing investigation, that is what it is. And there's no more information available. But I did want to share that tonight or today.
Thank you for that update, sir. Anybody has any comments? Heidi?
I'm not a member of the committee, but I would like to share some comments. I'd like to make a statement that includes legislators Nab Coleman, legislators Daley, legislators Battelli, and legislator Sargent and myself. We Democratic County legislators would like to take this opportunity to publicly condemn the process and the procedures taken by ICE in a raid at the Nutrition Bar Confectioners Factory in Cato, which took place on Thursday, September 4th. The process surrounding this raid demonstrates complete disregard for the Constitution of the United States, specifically Amendment 5 of the Constitution, which upholds the right to due process for all living in America. The actions of a sweeping roundup of 60 Hispanic workers in their workplace caused a sense of fear and emotional violence unseen in Cayuga County before. These actions shake the core values of our community. We condemn the lack of due process and the use of terrorizing tactics, including immediate separation of families that were used in this raid. The Cayuga County Sheriff made the decision to provide a high level of assistance in this raid. That decision was independent of the Cayuga County Legislature. In fact, the legislature was not made aware until the Sheriff's Department's response was in place. Thank you.
I just add one more thing.
Absolutely, sure.
I think it's important to note too that this type of enforcement, regardless of where you stand on it, it has real impacts to real people, and I recognize that. That weighs on me. I know it weighs on a lot of people. Certainly for the people that it impacts directly, and I don't, take that lightly when looking at this whole situation. And when I did initially before this decision was made. So I just want to add that I don't do that with any cold-heartedness towards this population. I know that this has permanent, lasting impacts on people that have been in our community and are still here. So I just want to add that, but I don't have anything more to say on that.
Thank you, sir. Just
We will ask questions. I just have, I got a lot of calls over the week, and I'm new at this, but I got a lot of calls from people in my district. And I can't speak to the federal part, nor I completely understand we wouldn't have it. But a lot of the questions were around how we decide what resources were allocated to it. So I don't know if you can answer it or not. But the specific, like the van and the officers that went, were those things that they specifically asked for? Or do you decide what the resources are?
So they did ask for us to provide the details that we did, and those were the resources that we did that.
Okay.
They did want the command post there that they purchased previously, and they did want us to provide that traffic enforcement, scene security.
Okay.
So that was the staffing that it took to do that, with them reimbursing us for the overtime as they do on our proactive details.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or concerns? Just one final comment by me.
I could, oh, sorry, can I have a question?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't see you raise your
I
hand.
was just,
Sorry.
sorry. Did Oswego County provide the same level of equipment?
No, they did not.
Okay,
They were present, but they didn't have the same number of resources.
okay. Trying to think, in your comment that you had made, you know, you understand about the lasting impacts surrounding the families here, but I think we're hearing from folks that who are not involved, who are afraid. This is what people are calling me about. They're afraid that they're going to be picked up, that they're afraid of county government now. And although I try to allay some of that fear, it's a message that was sent, right? So I think it's something we need to think about and be mindful of moving forward. I don't know how we get around changing that message, but it's kind of a terrible place to be as a member of county government, that people don't feel as though we will look out for them. And so I just, you know, it just goes beyond the ripple effects beyond this one event is very significant.
Okay, anybody else?
I can just provide a follow-up example to that. Over the weekend, I had a phone call and messaging from a mother who is in my district. She fostered a child from that community from the time that he was very young until he aged out at 21. He has papers that he carries. He lives in the city of Auburn. He is completely terrorized. He is completely in fear, and so is the entire family. The process that happens does create, as I said in the statement, emotional terror. So, you know, I gave her some resources that I was able to find on how to be prepared if one is approached, et cetera. But it's just an example of just one call that I received. And this is someone in the city of Auburn. It's not out on our farms or places where we would think about our immigrant populations working.
And if I just could add, I don't think anybody in this room is in favor of illegal people here illegally. Nobody's in favor of that. I'm not in favor of that. My mother came from another country and had to do everything the right way and has always had to keep that up and jump through hoops, and she has her green card on her. She's not a citizen. So I understand, and I just don't want anyone to think that we all get painted with broad brushes when these things happen. And I don't think anybody, I don't want to speak for people here, but I'm not in favor of that. I just think the way things can be handled can be just done differently. And it's not, you didn't set that tone that day, but I just don't like that we were involved with it. That's just my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hope that the sheriff keeps doing what he's been doing. And anytime that another agency, law enforcement agency requires help and the sheriff is able to do that, I expect him to do it. The sheriff, you know, that's what we're in the business for law enforcement.
Okay, you're looking at me. Yeah.
Okay, just one final comment by myself. Obviously, none of us were there at this action. I think it would be behooving to all of us to wait till, you know, all the facts, and I do mean facts, not rumor, are available. And at that point in time, y'all can reserve your judgments at that point in time. I can understand some of your concerns. I was only approached by one person in the store, and I basically just made the comments that, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know all the particulars, and until such time, I don't have any comments. And I think that would behoove most of us. Obviously, there's some concerns, but until we have all the facts, I think we need to give that process time to come forth. Other than that, Sheriff, I do know you have 7 resolutions. We'll take them one at a time. JP4, authorizing the chair of the legislature and the Cayuga County Sheriff to accept grants from the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee for child passenger safety and police traffic services. You have any comments on that one, sir?
No, unless somebody has some questions.
I need a motion.
Move it.
I need a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Due to conversations I've had with other legislators today, I'm gonna hold JP5 until the end. JP6, authorizing the sheriff to fill 1 vacant deputy sheriff custody lieutenant's position in the custody division, resulting backfill positions in the county jail. I need a motion. Second? I'll second it for discussion. Any discussions on JP6? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
1 opposed, carried. Next up, JP7, authorizing the chair of the legislature and the Cayuga County Sheriff to renew a contract with Power DMS for law enforcement, personal scheduling, and community services.
I'll move.
Need a motion?
Move that one.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. JP8, authorizing the chair of the Cayuga County Legislature and the sheriff of Cayuga County to enter into an agreement with Global Tel Link Cooperation, DBA, via path for the management, operation, and maintenance of incarcerated individuals' telephone system and tablets at the Cayuga County Jail, and to amend resolution number 202-25. Need a motion?
I'll move it.
Second. I'll second it. Any discussion on JP8?
This is an extension.
This is an extension, and I meant to mention this at the beginning. The commissions are going to be restored for the inmate telephone revenue for a period of time. I don't know how long, but the current administration did reverse that, extend those. So ViaPath wanted a full, it was a 3-year commitment, and the prior resolution would not allow for that. So this is just to extend the term of that contract so that they will give us the rates that we're hoping to get relative to that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. JP9, authorizing changes to the 2025 Cayuga County compensation plan to reflect salary increases of certain non-bargaining positions in the Cayuga County Sheriff's Office. Need a motion? Second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on JP9?
So this isn't an hour, a dollar increase an hour?
Correct. Unified court system, and this is paid for fully by the state. They authorize the raise.
And that's 100% reimbursed by the state, correct?
It is correct.
All righty. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of JP9?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. JP11, authorizing the creation of a temporary leave bank for the Cayuga County Sheriff's employee.
Move it.
Well, need a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Any details you want to elaborate, sir, or?
Not much I can say on that, but,
Right.
I know we've asked many of these before.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's, out of time and needs help with an illness.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, we're gonna be back to GP5. Authorizing the Cayuga County Legislature, the Cayuga County Sheriff's Office to revise a contract with the Moravia School District to provide one additional full-time special patrol officer employed by the Sheriff's Office to the Moravia School District to provide school resource officer services, creating and filling one additional special patrol officer position for said purpose. I need a motion. I'll move it. I need a second.
I'll second it for discussion.
Thank you. Any discussion, questions, concerns? How's your chance?
All the above. Sorry. Go ahead.
Couple of questions. Is there something special going on in Moravia School District that they're requesting this?
They have two separate buildings.
That's the second question, but that's good.
I believe, now I know they used to have our special patrol officer there that is currently there, along with a private security person that worked for the school with them. I believe that that person is no longer there and they're looking to fill that role with a second special patrol officer. And this would be 100% funded by the school, just as the other position is.
So as far as you know, there's no special, like, more issues going on with the students or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't believe that there is.
Any other concerns or comments?
Well, the other comment is, some people said we should wait till the hiring freeze, if you can call it that, is expired. I don't think this really matters in this case where the school's paying 100%. I know of the school districts that have SPOs through the sheriff's department. I think all of them are very, very pleased and love the relationship. So I don't think we necessarily have to wait.
I was curious about how many have our SPOs, how many have more than one? How many districts?
I think that would be the first.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
They would have two, the others would all have one.
Gotcha.
So the BOCES isn't really through this agreement.
This BOCES, that is an actual sheriff's deputy. They do pay 100% of the salary and vehicle for an actual sheriff's deputy.
Deputy, right?
Correct. That's different than this agreement.
Yep.
The school would like to hopefully get this approved and start to recruit for it.
Any other concerns, comments? I have a comment. I had a long conversation, got heated at times with Legislator Daley. Her and I talk often on the phone, and I let my views and opinions voiced at that point in time. One of the comments was that, we don't, the hiring freeze comes off in November. And I'm like, well, okay, it's the second week of September. I said, you have all of October. You're bringing up this resolution if it does not pass. The second week of November, then it has to wait until obviously the full ledge to, at the end of the month, to be passed or voted on if we don't do anything with it tonight. My concern is that, the school district has obviously reached out to the sheriff to request this position. They obviously feel that it's necessary. My opinion is that the school pays for this 100%. It has no reflect or bearing on our budget. And I don't see the need or the reasoning to wait.
You don't want to make it a Christmas present?
No. Any other comments, questions, concerns? All righty. All in favor? Aye. Any,
Post.
I have one opposed,
Yes, just one.
one opposed. That means it's carried. That's it for the sheriff. Anybody have any other concerns or questions for the sheriff? Thank you for your time,
Thank
sir.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Stop DWI. Who's hiding in the back? Oh, no.
Just kidding. I have my report here if anybody has any questions.
I do not, and I don't see a reason for you this evening.
Oh, your commercial's already on?
Yes, I was
Oh, I
going to
didn't-
say, so thank you to the district attorney, sheriff, the Auburn City police chief and myself. We cut 4 commercials, so they're airing. They started September 1st. The state asked for copies of them because I have to get approval, and they were very pleased with the sound bites that we use. So if you're hearing the commercials, they'll be airing now until the end of the year.
Awesome.
And one other thing not on my report, somewhat related, is just to remind everybody that information is going out for Student Government Day. It's going to be Tuesday, October 28th. Logistics are being finalized now, but I just want to thank everybody for their participation and their support for this event that we do every year. I've already had a few department heads reach out to me that are able to take students, with more coming in. So I want to make everyone aware of next month's plan for the legislative.
That date.
Yep, Tuesday, October 28th. I believe the meeting is going to be at Emerson Park with lunch there to follow as of this year.
Very good. Great program. Anybody have any questions or comments for the Stop DWI program? This is a little bit related to the Stop DWI. Obviously, we all know schools in session. I ask that as you travel through the school districts throughout our county, please be aware of the children. Also, please do not pass school buses. I have seen some pretty close calls down in my end of the world. I can't believe it. It doesn't shock me, but I just ask that please be careful and use due caution in the school zone.
I do see patrols out there in the mornings when I
Yes.
bring my kids to school, so thank you.
Obviously, there's plenty of law enforcement out and about, and I'm sure you do not want to be visited by them. Okay, if anybody has anything else to come before the JPS committee? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Adjourn, thank you very much.